F1 track preview in Azerbaijan. As you can see, the beautiful castle all behind me, which obviously I'm very excited about. So let's get into the let's have a look at the track map, shall we? Here we go. So that was really quick. There's no track map. What an absolute fail. Oh dear. So moving from the track map, let's just have a look then at the track. Let's have a look at the track guide, shall we? What an absolute fail. I was expecting the track map to come up, but it absolutely didn't. How rubbish am I? Okay. I do I do apologise. I'm having to type this now live to just to get a look at the track before we actually properly look at the track. So let's see, shall we? Let's at least make an attempt to drive this track, shall we? Here we go. There we go. There he is. Now, what you have to think about is it is a very, very long straight. You do have DRS there, but the DRS seems to start really, really late, to the point where I'm wondering, because this is such a low downforce setup, whether the DRS is actually going to be any good. Like at Monza, because of the low downforce setup, once again, it's not as low as Monza, I know, whether we're going to get any half decent passing. I think we will, if I'm honest. But anyway, let's begin. So as we go down now, we're going now into turn numero 1. Really important, probably one of the best overtaking points here. It's so wide, sometimes you get 3 cars side by side going into there, into turn number 2, which also acts almost as the DRS detection zone, which is right down here now between turns 2 and 3. Despite this, or in spite of this being a DRS detection zone, you don't really see too much passing, but it's side-by-side action. If you remember, a few years in the sprint, it was, I think, George Russell and Max Verstappen side-by-side into here. Now we have done turn 1, 2 and 3, into 4, and then very quickly into 5, which, if I remember, is a bit of a weird. We got like a 5 and 6, like a weird chicane. It really is, if I'm honest, one at a time through here. Then into turn 7, you could maybe pass it. It is typical street track. We love our right angle-ish here, but we're then coming into turn number 7. Don't tell Charles Leclerc about this. No, absolutely. We'll get into that turn in a minute. From 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. And then on the power down to turn number 13. This is, in the game anyway, this is always quite a difficult one. You've got to brake nice and early because you want a good run into turn 13. Now, these are really, really important corners. In particular, this one coming up now, because it sets you up. This corner here really, really sets you up then to absolutely go hammer and tongs now. It is flat out through turns 18, 19 and 20, all the way down to the start finish straight. We do once again see sometimes 1, 2, 3 cars side by side here. It does, if I'm honest, it does get quite exciting, doesn't it? So that's pretty much our track guide. But let me wind you back a bit then. So this is the first corner, and I'd like to remind you here what happened at this first corner a number of years ago. I would very much like to remind you. Here we go. Are you ready? Here we go. This was 2021, by the way. Lewis Hamilton does go bye-bye. Is this the moment Lewis Hamilton lost the championship, as in it was out of his control and not in the control of Michael Massey?
Hamilton will wheel spin. Sebastian Vettel is coming at them as well. Perez trying to cut off Hamilton.
Oh!
Straight on. Perez leads from Sebastian Vettel.
It's hard to watch, isn't it? It is really hard to watch. As I'm just going to turn the volume down a bit. As you can see, you got the first corner there. He locks up, but as you can see, I'm going to try and pause it here. You can see all that space. Look, I mean, look, you can have 4 or 5 if you wanted to aside here, and it doesn't really. The first corner doesn't really do too much of a pincer. You can have a couple of people alongside it. It's not going to be the ideal line in qualifying, mind you, but still not bad at all. So back to our, should we go back to our track guide now? Because let's have a look at, I think it's turn number 7. We're gonna remind ourselves about the Charles Leclerc turn. I'm trying to work out where it is now. I think it's just coming up now, isn't it? Yeah. we're going to remind ourselves about the turn that Charles Leclerc very much does not like. And I believe we're coming up to it right now. It is a really skinny corner. This corner here, I mean, it really is. When you look at it, it really is one at a time. And if we want to remind ourselves about what happened, I feel really bad. I feel so bad for Charles Leclerc. Here we go. So let's have a look. I mean, 2019 and 2024.
I am stupid.
Yes, Charles, that you were. But we still love you.
I am stupid. I am stupid.
Oh, he says it twice. One more time. One more time. One more time.
I am stupid. I am stupid.
Okay, I feel like I kind of feel bad, but Leclerc is very fast around here. Yes, you know. So could you put him as one of the favourites? He knows this track. Can he make a difference? It depends. I think if that Ferrari's a couple of tenths off, absolutely, he can make a difference. But more on that in a bit. As we now want to hide that and carry on with a few of the track facts, shall we? If you will. So, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. We have got a few interesting stats here. As we know, it is 51 laps, 20 turns. It was first opened in 2016. So this is, believe it or not, this is the 9th time we've got it. There have been 8 Formula 1 races, obviously before this, and it's hosted it ever since 2016. Now, for the first 6 races held at Baku, there were no repeat winners. Perez finally became, and yes, believe it or not, in 2023, it was Sergio Perez finally becoming the repeat Grand Prix winner. Rosberg won the first event here, though. Ricciardo took an unexpected victory in 2017. Lewis Hamilton won in 2018 thanks to Valtteri Bottas' tyre going, but then Bottas got revenge in 2019. Perez took the win here in 21 and 23, and in between that, Verstappen won in 22. Oscar Piastri, though, is the latest Grand Prix winner in Baku, Azerbaijan in 2024. Now, in terms of nations, thanks to Sergio Perez, it is not Great Britain or Germany or Brazil that leads. It is very much Mexico and Australia. I forgot about that because Daniel Ricciardo's and Oscar Piastri are obviously Australian. So, Nico Rosberg is the only driver to record a Grand Slam, though, in 2016. And to be fair, in 2016, everyone labelled this as a really boring Grand Prix, which I thought was maybe harsh, but it is Red Bull. They are the team with the most wins in Azerbaijan, with Sergio Perez taking their 4th victory. The team was previously tied with Mercedes, who did have 3 wins. Now, 3 1-2 finishes, though, have been recorded. Mercedes obviously becoming the first to record a 1-2 at the Baku circuit in the 2019 Azerbaijan Grand Prix, in which they also became the first team to record victories at the circuit in successive years. 2018 Hamilton, 2019. To be fair, it probably would have been 2 1-2s had Valtteri Bottas not got that puncture. Red Bull, though, became the second team to record a 1-2 finish at the venue. Now, Max Verstappen, he sets a record for the largest win margin. That was all the way back. No, not 23, because as we know, that was Sergio Perez. 2022, finishing 20.8 seconds ahead of everyone else. The smallest margin in 2021 by Sergio Perez by 1.385 seconds, but that really was like that was like a sprint of us. If a sprint race had a sun, that would have been it, because we had the red flag, Lewis went off, and it was, let's be honest, it was like whoops-a-daisy from there, wasn't it? So there we go. Now, in terms of what race it is in the championship, this is going to be the 1,142nd World Championship event. That's not bad, is it? And also, we need to talk the Constructors' Championship. McLaren could win the 2025 Constructors' Championship. I'll try and talk properly. At the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, they currently lead the way in the standings by a whopping 337 points. There are a maximum of 389 points available this season, meaning that in order to win the weekend, McLaren are going to need to outscore Ferrari by 9 points, not be outscored by Mercedes by more than 11 points, or Red Bull by more than 32 points. So realistically, it's either Ferrari or Mercedes that could rain on McLaren's parade. If McLaren win the title, it would be the 10th time they've been crowned the Constructors' Champions. They would overtake Williams for 2nd place on the list of most titles won. This would be the 18th time that a team have won the Constructors in consecutive years. It would be the first time McLaren have done so, winning 4 in a row between 88 and 91. And it would be the first time the Constructors' Championship has been decided at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. making Baku, if you love your stats, the 28th different circuit on which the Constructors' Championship have been won. Now, if McLaren do seal the Constructors' Championship at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, they'll set a new record for most rounds remaining, having already wrapped up the championship. Red Bull are the current holders, having won the 2023 title with 6 races remaining. There are 7 rounds left after the Baku race, so that's interesting. If they could take that from Red Bull, and that's simply because, let's be honest, McLaren have 2 cars that can score a decent amount of points. Sorry, Red Bull. Any other Formula 1 records? Well, a pole position for Charles Leclerc, 2025 Azerbaijan. I can't talk today. Azerbaijan Grand Prix. That would make this the 6th time that the driver has taken as many as 5 consecutive pole positions at a single circuit. Now, Baku City Circuit is one of 3 circuits on the calendar at which Max Verstappen has never previously taken pole position. If he takes pole here, he'll move ahead of Alain Prost and equal Vettel for the 2nd on the list of most circuits on which a driver has taken pole position. It will be the 23rd track for Max Verstappen where he has taken a pole position. So there